Hey there, welcome back. Lee Orzhel, Realty Max here, owner broker of Realty Max. Okay, so before I start, I want to welcome everybody in. If you're new, welcome. If you're joining me all the time and getting information, I really appreciate your coming here. And like I said, if you find I present something as far as value to you, feel free to share this. Like I said, I think although there's a lot of agents out there, there's only a handful that are really worth their weight. In gold, because ultimately, just like anything else, there's a lot of doctors, surgeons in there, but there's only a handful that do just amazing work, spectacular work, and you can't really figure out why. What is the actual skill, right? It's very hard to point at it. They think in a different way, they view things in a different way, although everybody hasn't went to the same medical school, and I think the same for law school, right? They see an angle that a lot of people don't see. Anyway, we're going to start with my newsletters out. Let's see if I can flash this really quickly so you guys know exactly what we're going to be looking at. So the newsletter is out for you. This is obviously Santa Fe Hills. And if you stay later in this video, we'll touch on Rancho Santa Elena, which is just really just west of us, right? A small community of about 200 homes. But let's talk about the market overall. Overall market is doing well, although as I mentioned before, there's definitely a slowdown, right? I saw this on the outskirts like Escondido, maybe even some areas. Fallbrook, I'm seeing some slowdown there. And usually this is a telltale sign what's gonna eventually happen in our market. Ultimately what I'm seeing is, the rates have come down. Let me pop on that. Rates have come down, as you can see. And because the Fed dropped the borrowing rate by about 0.5%, 50 base points. But what you're going to see is rates are starting to go back up. And the reason for that is, again, they're trying to balance inflation, right? If they're seeing the inflation maybe lurking back, the rates will automatically go up. And that's why I told you before, and I'm going to say this again over and over, right? Let me pop this up. I'm going to say this over and over again, that if you're thinking, right? I'm sorry, I have technical issues here. If you're thinking rates are going to go back down to 2.5%, 3%, you're mistaken. Rates are not going down below 5.5% for the next couple of years for sure, unless we have what I call a black swan event, right? Economy is failing, economy is going down. We have deflation, we have all kinds of factors, right, where the economy is starting to misfire, right? And that can happen because at this point, last thing they want to do is reduce the rates and overstimulate the market and push prices up again, because as soon as the rates go down to a certain point, it becomes more and more affordable, more and people are going to jump in and obviously buy, which is going to lead again to crazy appreciation as we've seen in 2021 and 22, right? Things are definitely much more demurred now, where we got at least a dozen offers on a property. Now we're gaining a handful. And again, it's not for everybody. If you've looked around, you've seen some homes that sit on the market for weeks and sometimes months and they don't sell. They just don't sell. And the reason for that is really simple. They're not priced correctly. They're not priced with the market, in the market. And let me just flash this up for you really quick. See if you can see it. I mentioned this to you guys many times. Give me a second. So I mentioned this to you many times before, how the market works, how important it is to have the things dialed in before, because it's really difficult to fix things after. Okay, you can try to, but it's never going to be the same. You're going to be leaving money on the table. So whatever you were hoping to get potentially has gone. You've seen this graph time and time again. I'm going to pop it up again so you can see it, because a lot of people don't get this, right? Oops, sorry about that. It's up again. So a lot of people don't understand. Time is of essence when you put the home on the market, right? Within the first week, everybody knows about your home, and that's why in 72, and the way we process the whole listing and selling for you, and how we're able to get so much higher than majority of agents, is we're able to find a sweet spot for the home, because as soon as you put the home on the market, you have all the eyes on it. Within a week, you're at the top, you're at the peak. You're not going to get any more excitement about it. You're not going to get any more eyes on it that you have in the first week. And as you can see, there's this little purple thing that says ideal time to sell. And if you're a server, you can totally get it, right? As you're waiting for the wave to form, you want to get there right before the peak, right? Because this is your best time to catch the wave. Because after that, it's not going to happen. The real estate market is very much the same way. You got to get things done. You got to dial it in. You got to find that wave you're going to jump on. And the way you do this is preparing, right? You want to get your home ready. You want to get it prepared. You want to really dial things in before you do it. And that's why you see a lot of agents take homes on. A lot of times I told sellers, you really need to do something, because otherwise you're not going to sell quickly. You're probably going to lose money or leave money on the table. And a lot of times they don't listen to me, and that's okay. I see the home selling for substantially less, tens of thousands less than it could have otherwise. But again, going back to this curve, as you can see, this is the ideal time to buy, because anything after that, the thick line is perceived value. Perceived value is so freaking important. Perceived value, it's probably number one question that the buyer asks their agent. How long has this home been in the market? If the home's been in the market for 2, 3, 4 weeks, sellers want to know, why am I the only one interested, right? So they go from, hey, this is a great home, and being excited and emotional about this home, to the logical side, right? They start thinking about it. Okay, I don't want to get screwed. I don't want to be the one holding the bag. I don't want to make a mistake. That's why you have a lot of people not making offers at this point on homes that they really like, right? And if they do make an offer, they're going to come back with a lowball offer. Is this what you really want? Do you want a lowball offer? Do you want to leave money on the table? And that's exactly what this is about. That's why I'm talking at this so often and so many times. So again, my newsletter's out for Santa Fe Hills. We're going to look at mortgage rates really quickly. We're going to go into market, and although I touched on it already, and just talk about overall what I'm seeing. Okay, so mortgage rates, you can see they dropped, but again, they're creeping back up. They went from close to 6%. We're able to get some loans at 6%, and now they're at about 6.3. Probably going to head to 6.5 most likely. And the reason for that, I'm telling you, rates are not going to drop below 5.5%, 5%. If you're waiting for that to jump in the market, you're wasting your time for now. I don't see this happening in 2 years unless, okay, let me preface this, unless this economy starts going down the hill quickly, really quickly, right? And the reason, again, the Fed does not want to reignite the market. He doesn't want to have the market kind of jump all over the place, right? So, and mortgage rates are important. People don't buy the price for the home, they buy the payments, right? How much they're going to pay. I'm seeing the reason things are slowing down primarily is because we are looking at an affordability crisis. A lot of people can't afford the home anymore, right? The cost of insurance has gone up a lot. I have a lot of people calling me, and I talk to a lot of people. Their insurance doubled, tripled, they've been dropped, right? And we try to help as much as we can, but we are now running out of less resources than we had before. It's going to be very difficult to find something in California. I can tell you my personal story here, if you don't mind. I have rentals, and one of the rentals is a townhouse. It's in La Costa area, pretty nice. But the annual insurance for the complex itself has gone from just under $14,000 a year, all right, to $54,000 in a snap. Okay, now obviously, what am I going to do? Rents have to be raised, right? Because I'm not going to take money out of pocket and pay for it. And that's an issue, right? This is a huge, huge issue because affordability is already stretched, and now all those things are coming into play, making it even more difficult for people to buy. And that's why I'm seeing softening. As I mentioned last month, I already saw softening Escondido, Temecula, so anything that's outside of San Diego, because a lot of people will travel back and forth to pay less money. Fallbrook, all those areas are starting to really shrink, right, as far as prices go. There's definitely a significant what I call softening in the market. But like I said, things can be sold. Some markets are still doing great. However, again, it's very important. You don't have to pick me if you don't want to, but it's really important to have the agent that understands the dynamics, the real dynamics of the market, the buyer psychology, because this is so important. That's why I showed you that slide before, right? So why don't we jump in and look at Santa Fe Hills, and we can kind of talk about things a little more. Okay, well, this took a little longer than expected, so let's jump on the what's happening in Santa Fe Hills. So first of all, we have 3 homes currently in the market: 1036 Tesoro, 1339 Corte Lira, and 1405 Corte Bravo. Right, 3 homes in the market. We have about 3 pending. And actually, this is incorrect. This Tesoro should not be here because you can see it listed here. So we'll talk about it in a second. Corte Raquel is pending. And this the home is being resold twice within the 6 months. And Avenida Pantera, as you can see, is pending in escrow as well. All right, so let's take a look and see what's going on here. So first of all, active Tesoro 1036. This has been on the market on and off for almost 6 months now, literally. You saw the curve I showed you before. You understand the importance of this. This is a listing that was handled incorrectly in the first place. I think I might have spoken to the seller. I think they have a friend of the family or something, probably giving them some kind of break in commission. I don't know. Look, whatever somebody's giving you a break on something, you're going to pay in another way. So if you're getting a break, I don't know, even let's say 2%, $20,000. Let's say they're paying $20,000 less for commission, but they're probably leaving $100,000 behind on the table. So they just lost an extra $80,000. Does this make any sense? Please tell me if it does. It doesn't make any sense to me, but if it makes sense to you, I guess you don't have to listen to me, right? Corte Lira, looks like that actually is 36 days in the market. And by the way, this is 7 days because it's been recycled. It's been relisted. And a lot of times it doesn't really help. We have so much information. People can quickly, agents find out this home has been in the market multiple times, right? You know, when you're on the other side of the curve, right, and now you are trying to catch your listing, right? If you can look at like a down, let me pop myself up really here. So if you look at like a downhill, for example, see if I can do this for you, just make more sense. Just bear with me. So for example, if the home starts going this way, right? At this point, you're right behind and you're trying to catch. If you ever been in a situation where you're in a driveway and somebody starts rolling down the driveway and you're trying to catch up, you know, the gravity takes place, it's very difficult to catch it. You have to really increase your speed. So that's what happens. You're kind of behind it, behind the ball as the ball is rolling. And all you can do is reduce the price. It's very difficult to redo something. As I mentioned before, I said many times before, the toothpaste has been already squeezed out. You can put it back in, but it's going to take a lot of effort, a lot of time. You should have done it correctly in the first time. But I understand everybody wants to save, you know, $1 just to lose 100 all the time. So another thing I want you to pay attention to, get out of here as well. Another one on the market is 1405 Corte Bravo. This is 14 days in the market, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 1908 square feet. 1,250,000. It does have a pool. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It should have sold already if it's going to sell for this price. It's probably not going to sell for that price, but you can catch me next month and see if I'm correct or not. So let me go back to this one before, 1339 Corte Lira. It got lucky, and it wasn't basically off the market within 4 or 5 days. So maybe they had a couple of people come. One made the offer, and at some point, I'm telling you right now, this market is very, very frigid, right? In order for you to sell, it's really important to bring as many buyers in at the same time, really find a sweet spot for the price to bring all the buyers in at the same time, create this competition between the buyers, right? Create multiple offers. Make buyers feel like they're going to miss out on something, because a lot of times you want to tap into psychology, right? Buyer psychology, social proof, social validation, all those things that a lot of agents just don't get, okay? This is why it's important. Now this home's been on the market for 6 days. Looks like they dropped the price about $10,000. Is it going to really help? I don't think so. We'll see next month, okay? And let's see, 667 Corte Raquel. That is pending. It was on the market from $1,399,000. 11 days in the market. This home is the second time it's being resold, and it's a really nice house. I have a lot of nice upgrades in it. It has a pool, some view. I saw it on before. I think last time it sold, the agent used someone, and they were actually a good agent who sold it, but they used someone they already knew, so I didn't quite get the listing, and it happens. This one is 1362 Avenida Pantera, and that is here. Let's see, it's 1,250,000. Let me just click on this really quick so you can look at the pictures, maybe if you want to. Like I said, nice pool, clean house, Right, looks like new cabinets, as you can see. The white shaker French doors. I mean, clean house. Like I said, the way the house is perceived, the way the house looks. Here's what I call eye candy, right? This is it, the money shot. This is what makes people emotional, want to buy it. People want to move in, live. And I think this one did something to, I think they added a shower. I can't remember. I have to go back and look. But I think, yeah, I think this is an addition right here. So there's a little additional space that was added as a cabana and probably a little ADU that can be rented. So that's the reason it is had value to people. Anyway, so we'll see what it closes at. 4-bedroom, 4-bath, $1,250,000, right? 2217 square feet. So let's look at what closed recently. Most recently, we had a closure on Avenida Amistad. Actually, no, it's Leon right here. So 709 Avenida Leon, nice property, 3123 square feet, 1,280,000, and it looks like it sold at 1,280,000. I don't remember, so let's take a quick look and see the pictures here. Hunter green, a very traditional kind of look. Let's see if I see anything spectacular. It looks like the kitchen's pretty much the way original kitchen, although they put some counters here. You know, it's a decent home. I know it was open towards looking down on Borden because it's around a corner, but it's a good sized home, right? Built-ins here, looks like that's redone. Yeah, this looks like it was redone. The master has been redone. Looks like this has been redone. Because a lot of times, you know, when the home is sold and if you have original shower, this door is already probably flopping, flip-flopping. You know, there's issues already. And at least this one has some work put into it. And a clean house. I can't say maybe the colors are not my choice, but the yard is really big on this one. That's also really important things. And another thing you have to also look at, although it's not, doesn't have some amazing view, it has some view, but it's a corner property looking at Borden. They didn't look at another house. You know, when you look at another house, you're backed into another house. That usually has an effect on value as well. Okay, so this is more or less, looks like that. A chicken coop or something there. Looks like, I'm not sure what that is. All right, so like I said, nice home, clean, good sized yard. So in this one, as you can see, closed at 1,285,000. So, you know, so give you an idea there if you were in that area in Cafetal or Leon. The other one I want to look at is 924. I think all the other ones are covered. This is Amistad, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, in the market for 32 days, $1,050,000, and it looks like they closed at $1,025,000. I believe this one had a pool. Let's take a quick look. Okay, this has nothing to do with the house. Let's go back up. Let me close this and open it up again. Let's see, Cafetal. Where is it? Sorry guys, Amistad. Okay, let's look at it here. I'll go forward this time. So, oh no, that's not the one. That's the one. Okay, that's the one that closed for $1,050,000. Yes, I already know who this house is. Again, I think at the square footage, if you look at the other house, it should have got more. I think the other one that's almost, well, same and is against the slope. This one's actually open, right? It has some view on it. It closed $25,000 less. Let's see. I'm not sure if there's concessions or not. Doesn't matter. Let me get out of here. Sorry about this, guys. Give me a pause here. Okay, so I'm back on Amistad. Like I said, I think this home should have sold for more. It needs some work. And overall, like I said, as you can see, it's somewhat dated. The other one that sold actually, but the home itself, right? It's on a view side. So this home was actually on a view side. So it probably should have sold more because the other one across the street, they had some updates on it, upgrades, but it was against the slope, and I think it's sold for $1,075,000. I think this is right here, forgot, all right? Same house, 2105, as you can see, right? So again, it all just depends who's doing the listing, who's doing what. So like I said, agents really do matter, and ultimately your what you're going to get out of your sale really matters, and how much money you're going to leave on the table or not leave on the table also matters. So really be careful, because a lot of times people do not evaluate things correctly. They don't understand It's not like buying a TV or buying something else, or getting some kind of service. If it doesn't work, you already know it doesn't work. You can get somebody else to do it, taking your car to a mechanic. This is experiential, right? You have an experience, and it happens then. You can't go back and look and say, hey, maybe you could have got more or less. You got to look at the performance of the agent and kind of go from there. Anyway, I hope I've given you a lot of information. Just to kind of summarize, I don't see rates going below 5.5% for quite a long time unless there's a black swan event. The market's doing well. If you have some to sell, please give me a call. I will help you kind of put things together, make sure you have the best opportunity to get the absolute highest price out of the gate, right? So you don't have to play and screw things up as you go along. And overall, like I said, the market is steady. We're still getting quite a few offers. We're able to create a buyer frenzy. We're still able to get multiple offers. And so if you're looking to sell, please feel free to give me a call. As I told you before, I think if you know me, you know I'm a very straight shooter. I don't pull back. I'm going to give you the truth because, when it comes to close to $1 million, at least or over $1 million for at least Santa Fe Hills neighborhood, I think it's really important who handles that for you. Okay, there's a lot of money at stake. All right. Thank you again for coming back and taking a look at this, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.